All right, so in today's class, we are going to be talking about how we can basically process our vocal before mixing. What you need to do before you mix is start the process of your mixing, which by you have to like clean up your vocals and try to put everything clean before you start to add plugins to it. So now let's go this way. I have my vocal here, which is recorded in my studio, which is recorded with my sound card and also with my mic, which I am using at this point in time. Now, what we are going to do is that we are going to be cleaning up the vocals so that before we start the mixing process, that's what we are going to have for the class for today. So, but first of all, I just want to emphasize a little bit on the record process. Now, recording your vocals is very very important, as in recording it in the proper way is very important, and also paying attention to the waveform. As you can see my waveform here, paying attention to the waveform is very important also. So having a good take in the music determine the result. So when you are recording your vocals and at that process your vocal was coming out good without no plugging on it, no mixing process, nothing, it was good. Like you can tell the end result of the music. Yes, you can tell the end result of the music. But when you are recording your music and it's not that good, you feel like you did not put all your you did not put all your your your, your passion into it, and you are expecting something different that the mix will change everything for you. It's never going to change everything. A bad song always remain a bad song, and that is it. It's not every song that you even record that you can even mix. That is it. So I don't want to talk much, so let's just have a quick talk on what I'm trying to say. So I have these vocals recorded with me here. So but I'm going to be taking down, I'm going to be taking it off, everything off these vocals, so that we can listen to it in a raw form. We are going to be mixing this together, but not today. So for now, let's start from the basic and get more understanding about vocals first. Try to spend 50 to 60% of your time in the vocal record process. Make sure you have a good take, which is very important. So let's take a look at the raw vocal we have here and let's see what we can do. Many things for my lady, shine bling things for my lady. I fi do things for my lady, Mercedes Benz for front for my lady. I fi take you round the world, I fi give you many things, my girl. Only you they build my mind, only you they ginger my body and soul. Alright, so that aspect was already mixed, so I just decided to take off some effect from this so that we can use this for our tutorial. So now what I'm going to be doing right now is that I have my vocals here, and then let's walk this through to editing. So I want to use editing to clean up this vocal a little bit more, but I'm going to tell you the reason why you need to use an editing and the reason why you don't need it in your mix. So let's open this and see. So I'm going to editing now. I'm going to editing, edit sample. So when you load up your edit sample, it's definitely going to load up your editing, and you are going to highlight or just listen to the empty aspect of your song, just the empty space, and see. So that is what we have going on because of where the vocal was recorded. There was a little bit of noise, so it wasn't much isolated. So there are some noise because it's a condenser microphone. It picks a lot of things from far. So that is it. So that is how it sounds. So let's see how we can do, and let's look for what we can do. So this particular noise here, I want to acquire those noise. So once I acquire this noise, I'm going to remove that particular noise from everything in the vocal using the editing. So let's see. So that is what we want to remove. So all you have to do is to right click. So once you right click, you see noise profile acquired. That shows that it already sense that you want to remove that noise from the entire song. So let's highlight, like we are going to control A everything together to just highlight everything together. Now we are going to right click, left click, sorry. Then we are going to just set the amount of the noise you want to remove through this place. So The noise is not much, so it's just something very little. So we are going to be doing little things on it. So we accept. So once you accept, let's listen to it and see. Many things from day. So you can see that that noise is gone. Why we are using that aspect is because that I wanted to remove the noise in this aspect, because I definitely know that since here is silent and there's that kind of noise in that, definitely there will be an underground noise under this one. So I use that. I just acquire it here, try to let the system know that this noise here, I want you to remove it from the entire vocal. And that was what I definitely did, and which is very, very nice. That's one of the reasons why I love to use FL Studio, because of the noise process angle and how it goes. That's the reason why I try to use it. So that is what I do during my vocal processing. Number one. So once I did this, it's not going to save into your main play timeline. What you are going to do, you go to this aspect here. You're going to click here, hold it down, and hold it this way and drag to this place. And once you drag it to this place, you can see that it will just fill up automatically with the way it is now. Everything is just as normal. But what if you want to have another version of it, so you can compare the two together? You can just definitely do this. You can just do this. You can just drag it and just drop it in another timeline, and it's going to fill it. Your own is just set it towards the time so that it will match up with the time. That's all I do during using my editing for vocal processing aspect. That's all I do for this. So now let's talk about the gaming aspect, the auto gaming aspect. Auto gaming aspect is very, very, very important before you mix your song. Before you start your mixing process, you have to auto gain your mix. And how do you do this auto gain? In another DAW is different. I mean, a DAW is very, very different. Why in FL Studio is also very, very different. So why do we auto gain? The reason why we have to auto gain, because sometimes artists does not sing on a constant volume. There are sometimes maybe they are not constant on the microphone. They keep going back and going front when they are singing, so they are not constant. Which I'm not advising maybe artists to keep dancing or uh, shaking during voice. It have to be constant. But sometimes, since they are human, they cannot actually put it straight. So what you are going to do is that you notice that some artists sing, there's an aspect which the volume is very low, there's an aspect which is very, very high. So how do you tune those things to be able to get a perfect volume on the sing of the song down to the ending of the song? That's what we are going to be treating right now. So one way I do those things is by me trying to do this, me trying to go into my wave and try to look for places that has a low volume of my song, which I'm going to take my cut tune and just try to, like, from this aspect the volume is too low, so I'm going to like cut it and then auto game it. Using the FL Studio 2021, you can actually auto gain, which is very, very nice. So you can just come down here after you are done cutting that. You can just come. So one of the rule I definitely use when I'm auto gaming my vocals, I don't actually go below. I don't actually go below 2 dB. I just go 1 dB, 2 dB. Anything after 2 dB, I don't do that, and I don't actually go higher than 2 dB. So that's what I do. So let's see what we are going to do here. Let's say, for instance, we are going to auto gain this aspect. So I'm going to go. This is 2 dB. Once it's 2 dB, I'm going to leave. Once it's 1 dB, or I just feel like it's okay, I just leave it at the 2 dB here. Yeah. So I just game that to be able to stay at equal volume with the rest. So I'll just come to this aspect also, and I'll do the same thing here also. This aspect, I'll do the same thing here because it's low. I don't think that has too much stuff. So here, let's see. I'm going to auto gain this aspect also because it's slow to auto gain that. So let's see. So a little to it, not too much. So we are going to do the same thing for this aspect also. This is very, very important, and I don't actually do this all time, because as you can see, these vocals is I think is recorded properly and has a good has a good wave. So I don't actually do. I'm just doing this for the class so that you can understand. What if you come across the vocals that has that kind of stuff, you can just do it. So for instance, we have this side which is very very high, and we want to, it's too high, definitely is going to be disturbing the other vocal. So we are going to be turning it down no more than, we are not going to go, we're not going to go, just go minus 4, 1.4. So as you can see, just turn me down a little bit. So that is how I do my auto gaming. I just do it throughout the song. Throughout my song, I just keep doing that throughout the song. You can just do that before you start your mixing. Just take your time. It's very boring, but it takes time for you to get this. So mixing your vocals or doing some stuff, you need to start from the basic to get a perfect vocal at the end. So those little basic things will definitely bring a change into your mix with you not knowing. So there are some upcoming producers that just overlook all those things because they feel like it's boring. All I want to do is just add plugin. So the more you keep adding plugin, the more the bad frequency keep coming up, the more the errors in the music keep coming up until it's going to fill up everything. Then you notice that your mix is not even clean. It's not even sounding good. You're just like, you don't even really understand what is really going on. So that is what I do. I try to auto game when I mix my, before I mix my vocals. So now what we are going into now is the processing of our vocal before we start the mixing. So we talk about the editing, which we use to remove noise. You can also use it to remove individual noise. Like for instance, you can just select a particular phrase of noise that is not, that you just want to remove. Just remove one single thing out of it. You can use the editing. You can also use the fat filter, the fat filter gate, which is it to remove. Let me see. You can also use this to remove background noise, which we are going to be coming to that as soon as possible. And you can also use NS1. You can also use the InWave NS1. They all do the same thing. But one of the things that this one does is that it just only silent when the artist is not singing, it will only silent the aspect that is not singing. Just close it, not so that there will be no noise, nothing at that aspect. But in this aspect, I think the editing work much better than those plugins when it comes to that. So now let's work on our vocals and let's see. So first things I like to add when I'm processing my vocals, I like to render, I like to consolidate my vocals with my Autotune. So I like to add my Autotune first. So this is what we are going to do. So Autotune. So we have my Autotune here. So this is my Autotune. And what we are going to do now is that I'm going to find the key to this music, to this sound. So I think I have the key. I have searched for the key before, and the key was about B minor, B minor. So which ways I can find the key to my mix. Sometimes I can actually just load up my auto key, which I'm going to be telling you about that. Just load up auto key on your beat. As you can see, this is my auto key, and I'm going to be playing my sound. Let's see. Many things for my lady, shine bling bling things for my lady. I fi do things for my lady, Mercedes Benz for front for my lady. I fi take you round. So as you can see, this is B minor, and it gives me the key to B as a key to this sound to B minor. So I can just send to auto tune. Once I press send to auto tune, it's definitely going to send this to my auto tune. So let's see, but I'm not going to press it because of my other work, so I don't want to just, so let me just do it manually. Just do it manually. So the reason why I'm doing this is because this song is under process and I'm not done mixing it, so I just want to bring it up to you guys so that we can start up something. So I'm going to select my low may, set my input type to low may, set my scale to minor just as the key directed, and then set it to B. My return speed, I don't like adding much auto-tune to my vocals depending on the artist, and because I think the sound of this artist is a very good singer, so I think I don't need to add much auto-tune to that. Sometimes I like to humanize, sometimes I don't like to touch anything concerning the humanizing. So once we go deep into our class, I'm going to be emphasizing much on these things, but for now let's just keep it in this way that we are cleaning up our vocals in this aspect. So now I just have my auto tune. Now let's see how the auto tune sound with it. Many things for my lady, shine shine bling bling things for my lady. I fi do things for my lady, Mercedes Benz forefront for my lady. I fi take you round the world, I fi give you many things, my girl. Only you they build my mind, only you they ginger my body and soul. Okay, so this is what we are going to do now. So after adding my auto tune, the next thing I like to add is adding a gate plugin to it, which is the Fat Filter Pro G. I like to remove my background noise. We did this with the auto tune with the with the editing already, but I like to add this also because this is a very nice stuff that this one works basically when the artist is not singing anymore. The empty aspect, he try to like close those noise and not let any noise comes in. So let's play through and see how we can set this. Many things for my lady, shine shine bling bling things for my lady. I fi do things for my lady, Mercedes Benz forefront for my lady. I fi take you round the world, I fi give you many things, my girl. Only you they build my. I like to leave my threshold at -50, sometimes -40, sometimes -58, 48, depending on the noise. So you just have to listen to it with your ear very well to know the amount of noise that you are getting rid of the vocals. That's all I do when I use my Pro G during my process of my mixing process. That's what I do. So next thing I do is to add add up an EQ, add up my EQ, and try to remove some rumbles, like try to remove some low aspect. I like to drive mine to 200, or depending on the vocals. Let's play through. Many things for my lady. Things, my girl. Only you they build my mind, only you they ginger my body and soul. So I'm going to be leaving that on that aspect. I'm going to be leaving that in that aspect. So let me try to reduce the load on my CPU. So I'm going to leave this in this aspect, leave it there. So I'm going to leave the EQ here. So the next thing I'm going to be adding is adding a compressor. So I'm going to be adding a compressor to this, which is sometimes I like to use the fat filter compressor to it. I don't like to touch anything here because what I'm basically after, I'm going to be adding second compressor. Not in your head that I'm not mixing. I'm just trying to like clean up my vocal and get it ready for for the mixing process. So I'm just adding this compressor to it, like to boost some silent aspect, like to like boost places that the volume is not equal. So sometimes if I am tired and I just feel like I just feel like there is no much need for me to gain my vocals that much. I just use this compressor to like boost the silent, bring up places that are silent and lower the places that are too much high. So let's listen to what is doing with the visualizer. Many things for my lady, shine shine bling bling things for my lady. I fi do things for my lady, Mercedes Benz forefront for my lady. I fi take you round the world, I fi give you many things, my girl. Only you they build my mind, only you they ginger my body and soul. So what I'm doing here is that sometimes I don't like I just touch my threshold alone, like try to walk across my threshold, and you need to know what those threshold does. So in other class of us, so we are going to be talking about how we can basically use all these things, but I'm just going to present this to you so that you guys will just get yourself prepared on practice this through, try to run your vocals through this process, try to clean up your vocals through this process. So when next we start our mixing process, we are going to understand what we are definitely trying to do. So the next plugin we are going to be adding is now I'm going to be adding another compressor to this is our final compressor on this. So it just depends on how you wanted it to be, but for now I'm going to leave this at this stage. And you can see we added our Autotune, and then we added our gate plugin, we added our Pro EQ, and we added our fad filter or compressor to it to boost and bring up the silent aspect. So that is all I do. Then I will go to my vocal now and consolidate. So this is what I'll do. I'll go to this place, consolidate. So in other door, you can just use render. There's a word called render there. You can just render. Why this is just consolidate. So you can just say consolidate from track start. I'm going to consolidate this from track start. So, but I'm going to be doing this for only this track. So we have other track there. So let's just, I don't want to do everything together. Let's just do it. You right click here. You go to consolidate from track start, and you hit. So you are going to enable insert effect, so that all the effect that you've added from that place will definitely be enabled, be enabled on this. So that is what I did here. So as you can see, we have our consolidated file here, as you can see. So just have a comparison between the former wave and the new one that we consolidate. You can see that there's a lot of different, and this is what I want you guys to pay attention to. Zone this very, very closely and pay attention to this wave aspect, to what we did here. As you can see that this place was very low, be able to compete with the rest of the vocal. You can see that this part was very low, and you can see here it was higher now. You can see this part was very low before, and now you can see that it is very high now. So that is just the magic, and that is just the techniques we use during our vocal processing. So guys, I'm going to be leaving you guys with this, and I'm going to be dropping another video as soon as possible concerning the mixing process of this. So if you have any question, don't forget to drop it for me, and I'll be attending to you as soon as possible. If you are confused and if I'm too fast, you can let me know so that I could calm down a little bit for you guys to understand me much. So this is all I did concerning this, and as you can see, let's play through and listen.
Many things for my lady, shine bling bling things for my lady. I fi do things for my lady.
So this is consolidated with all this effect, all this auto tune, everything. This is consolidated. So for instance, if I'm sending my vocal now to a mixing engineer to help me to mix it, I'm going to send it with all these things on it. So now I can just basically just get rid of the auto tune, everything here, and everything will still be as the way it is before, sounding just like the way it is, because I already consolidate everything and it's sounding nice. So thanks for watching, guys.